Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at Robinhood hitting record highs after their tokenization stock news. We have been looking at the stock for a very long time. We have actually been looking at it at around $10. But I want to bring you the chart analysis, I want to bring you the news, so do stay with me throughout this video. First, let me just show you the chart very quickly. This is a stock we've been looking at throughout the bear market. We saw it IPO in 21. We saw it go to $84, and then we saw it crash down 90%, I think, something like that. I mean, if we go from that high over there to those lows of the bear market, about 92%, absolutely ridiculous. It's just because something IPOs and goes down 90% doesn't mean it can't come back. Most of the time, you see these stocks go down 90% and then possibly down another 90%. But Hood was working in the background. They were building, they weren't worried, and they've come back stronger than ever. When I looked at the chart, we looked at a very, very clear accumulation pattern. This accumulation pattern occurred with the capitulation low at $7, went to the highs of $11, and then kept bouncing basically between $8 and $11, $12. And it consistently did that while making higher lows. This low was about $6.70, this low was about $7.50, then $8, then $10. Then it broke out the accumulation, came back for a back test of $12, and then it went on a run of a lifetime. And we were looking at the stock around $10. We were bullish on the stock around $10. And then it clearly really went for it. It went all the way from $12 to $64, came back for quite a sizable correction back in this year, 2025. Then there was an inverse head and shoulders pattern, came straight back at $33 as support. And here we are today, where it's gone from that inverse head and shoulders all the way up, hit most of our targets, past all-time highs, went to $100, and it's still looking pretty strong. I'll tell you my thoughts on where it's going next, the support, the resistance, if I would be buying it, if I would be selling it. But before I tell you any of that, I want to make sure that all of you know this is not financial advice. This is my thoughts, my opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based on anything I'm saying. This is for entertainment purposes only. But before we look at that, let's take a look at the news. And this news comes to you every single day in the newsletter. The link for the newsletter is the first link in the description, so please do check out the newsletter. It comes to you every single day. You get the 5 things you need to know before the market opens. You get the chart of the day. You get the big story as well, where we do deeper dives, interviews with CEOs, deep dives into stocks and stuff like this. And you get so much from the newsletter. It is I think the best newsletter in the market about everything finance related. If you're investing in stocks, I reckon you should know the news, and we give you the news every single morning. And this was part of the 5 things to know in in the newsletter this week. So what is the news? Why are we hitting all-time highs? One reason is the technical analysis. Secondly, it was fueled by this news. Robinhood hits record high on tokenized stock push in Europe. Blockchain is coming to the stock market, and I love it. They are ahead of many, many brokerages, and that's why they're performing well. They are taking advantage of the technology. Robinhood soared 13% on Monday, closing at June the 30th, closing at $93 and touching an all-time high of $94. Since then, we have obviously gone past $100 as well this week. This surged pushed the market cap to 82 billion and marked a 313% gain year over year. The rally followed Robinhood to catch a token event in Cannes, where it launched tokenized US stock and ETF trading for European users. EU users now have commission-free access to 200 plus tokenized US securities, including OpenAI and SpaceX, with 24 5. Trading and dividend payouts via app. Completely revolutionized the game. EU people can access the US stock market through tokenized stocks. Tokenization is going to take over the world, whether you're tokenizing stocks, whether you're tokenizing real estate, whether you're tokenizing any asset. And that's happening. This is a clear example, and they're using blockchain crypto technology to do it. And it's a game changer for Robinhood. They've just opened the US market to millions of users. And not even the stock market, you've got the private market in play as well. The platform is giving away €5 in OpenAI and SpaceX tokens to new eligible EU users that sign up by July the 7th, with 1 million in OpenAI and 500,000 in SpaceX tokens allocated for the campaign. Tokens are initially issued on Arbitrum blockchain, with migration to Robinhood's proprietary Layer 2 in the pipeline. The company also rolled out crypto perpetual futures with 3x leverage for EU customers and reintroduced crypto staking for Ethereum and Solana in the US. These moves position Robinhood now a 25.9 million funded accounts as a vanguard in blockchain-based finance, unlocking access to high-profile assets and extending trading beyond Wall Street hours. It is a game changer. Not only US stocks you now have access to, they're tokenized. You can buy them in the EU. Not only do you now have access to perpetual futures with 3x leverage for EU users, not only have you now got crypto staking available again for EU users, you've also got access to private markets such as OpenAI and SpaceX, and they are completely revolutionizing the trading exchange game with blockchain-based finance. This is highly bullish, but you also need to be careful. The news is out. Some people sell the news. We'll look at the chart in a second. Tokenized stocks, and let me explain to you what they are and why it's so important. So tokenized stocks are digital representations of real-world shares issued on the blockchain. Each token mirrors the price and the value of the actual stock, allowing fractional share ownership. 24 hours, 5 days a week trading, and seamless global access without relying on traditional exchanges. Robinhood launched them in Europe to bypass legal financial infrastructure and give retail investors direct access to assets like OpenAI and SpaceX, which are typically restricted.
Enrique D. Audioactivo Productions donated $4.99 through a super chat.
Thank you.
What's happening, Sensei? Can you check out the crypto project Block Acid? THX.
Thank you, Enric D. This is made during a live video, and we are join us live every single trading day for the show. We also do a Sunday show. I will respond to you, Enric, once we finish this video, but I'm sure we can look at that project. So, Robinhood launched them in Europe. Okay, we've read that bit. So tokenization is important because it democratizes finance, breaking down the barrier to private markets, enhancing liquidity, and enabling continuous trading beyond market hours. This is revolutionary. They are bypassing something that was very hard to do, to bring US markets to the EU users in this specific way, to bring private companies to normal retail investors. This is taking away the years. I mean, this has never happened before. This is taking away the power that governments held, the power that Wall Street and regulations held against just the normal retail investor. People who are rich, people who are accredited investors could invest in these. They had the upper hand. They could invest in things that we couldn't. And now with crypto, with blockchain, with tokenization, we can have a piece of the pie. And it's not fair that some people can and we can't. Now we can. So Robinhood's explosive push into Europe with tokenized equities, especially OpenAI and SpaceX, signals a generational shift. By decentralizing access to blue chip and unicorn stocks, the firm isn't expanding geography, it's redrawing the investment map. This is coming to you to a market near you. It's not just the EU. This is the first time they're doing it, and they're doing it with a bang. So there is Robinhood, and that explains the last pump that took us beyond all-time highs, where so many people would be taking profits. Then the news came out, and now you've surpassed $84, which was the previous all-time highs, went all the way up to $100, and you're probably on the way to $133. Would I be buying Hood right here? Well, if you're a long-term investor, maybe. Me personally, when we've been buying the stock around $10, I'm just holding and potentially taking some profits. First area I would have taken profits is probably $68, then all-time highs at $85. I'll probably ladder out next at $133 on Hood. There is, when you're looking at it in a trading sense, you are in the middle of no man's land. You are at basically your second to last target on Hood. You are between $84 and $133. $133 is the resistance, $84 is the support. There is no trade that a trader would look at this chart and say, yes, I should buy or sell now. This is not something I'd be trading at this moment in time. If I wanted to buy more, I'd possibly wait for $84 and have some more cash on the side for $68. If I was holding, I'd probably sell at $133. But the trend is your friend, and you can see that Robinhood's trend is very much the upside. Yes, it's overbought on the RSI, but there's no significant bearish divergence. In fact, there's no bearish divergence. There is nothing bearish on the daily candles, and on the weekly candles you're probably overbought as well. Yes, you are, but you're not as overbought as you were back in February, so I wouldn't worry too much about the RSI. In fact, it only shows strength. I don't look at the RSI and say, oh, you're overbought, the stock's going to go down. I might look at the RSI and say there's bearish divergence, which is seller exhaustion, but I wouldn't look at the RSI by itself. Too many people get confused when they see a stock going overbought. They sell it. In fact, most of the stock's gains happen when you are in the overbought territory. So be careful when people tell you a stock is overbought, because if you sell every time a stock's overbought, you would be down consistently. So there is Robinhood. Let me know your thoughts down below in the description. There will be 2 videos up here. Do check out the newsletter as well. First link in the description. 7-day free trial for you as well, and a free plan as well. So until next time, take care of yourselves and look at these 2 videos up here. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.